How to insert a triangle in Excel. You can go to the Insert tab, choose Illustration, choose Shapes, and look for Triangle. It's called ISO Triangle. So click on it, then go to any area, click one time, and you can adjust the triangle by holding to the corner here, hold a shift key and select this. This is the knowledge, Excel knowledge of how to insert a triangle. But why do we insert a triangle? Well, let's copy this, Control C, copy the triangle, Control V, paste the triangle, and now reduce it again. Say about this. And again, Control C, Control V, and we have another one. Control C, Control V. Now we have a few levels of data. So still, it is still a knowledge. So why do we draw this? Just for the fun? Well, yes, it can be. And it can also be that we want to insert a this text box here. So I can select the text box and I click on this. Now if I want to add to quick access toolbars, I can right click here and choose add to quick access toolbar. So now I'm going to have a quick draw triangle. So it's the same. So I click on this and I type in here D and I make it bigger. I mean, quite big. So I put it here and then Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. So now the next one is I. And the second, the third one is K. And finally, we reach the W. So this is the famous called DIKW. So, but what is DIKW? Well, let's press Ctrl K. Choose DIKW right here, and here we change it to DIKW Pyramid. So click OK. Now, when I click on this, it goes to DIKW. So this is what it means. You have data, you have information, you have the knowledge of how to create a triangle. But then, why is that useful? You must always ask yourself why. Okay. Now another example, more typical, is this. So you got some customer feedback, nice price, like fees, and so on. Fees good, fees expensive, price is reasonable, and so on. So now depends on what do your management wants. Now, if your management wants to improve on certain things, then they will say, I want to look at improve on the pricing or improve on customer, on the customer feedback. What's So how do we know that it's improved? We must know the numbers. What is the number? So then with the numbers, we can see whether we can improve, reduce the numbers. So that comes to wisdom. And this process is continuous. So once we reach here, we come back here, we do another round of gathering of the data, the customer data. The customer feedback is the customer data. So now capture again and so on. So that is the ACAP. So what does that really mean? Well, example is like here. So you have data, you capture the feedback. Well, many of us say it's just capture it for fun, right? The feedback. This is the fictitious for this for a for a fictitious restaurant. So these are so they capture the customer write this down on day by day basis. So now, but what does that mean? Oh, it's just a bunch of data. But if you put into a data, a business analyst, they will think about this differently. So the first, they look at, can we sort the state? So well, yes, we can. So just right click on the date column, choose sort. We can say orders to newest also can, right? If you right click, choose sort, newest to orders also can. So as you can see that there are many ways to do so. And then we have feedback. Now the feedback column, how can you find out those, if you want to know more about the feedback, then you can basically asking these questions. Find the number of customer feedback related to price, because some talk about fees, some talk about the taste, right? So it could be so it could change it to taste too spicy, uh, or maybe taste not suitable for me, right? Or maybe you can say taste not suitable for me. Uh, so uh, just to play, so all this, all kind of feedback. But the thing is that we will find something that's related to price. So how many of them is related to price? Well, you can activate the filter, Control Shift L to activate the feedback, the filter, and it's come over here, and you can choose that the feedback. Also, not feedback for price. So that price, you can see that these are all items. So now take a look at here. So these are the list of price, and overall there are 50 and 17 of them are really related to feedback. But look at that. How do we do it so automatically? Well, the first function that you can use is that, well, let me just unfilter it first. If you want to know how many filters, how many feedbacks are there, you can select this item, Ctrl Shift down key, and go to the bottom. There are 50 feedback. So that is 50. Now, after I filter it with the keyword price, and now it becomes 17. But how do I know 17? Well, one way is to highlight them and then put it 17. But do notice that this is automatic show. So how is it done? Well, we use two Excel functions to illustrate the difference. The first one is called the count A functions. So the count A functions count this column and then check which cell contains value. Count A. Okay. And they're minus one because that this header here, the table header is not, column header is not needed. So we minus one. So now you know that count A is recounting cell that contains value. But the moment um, we do a filter price, click OK. Now the count A remain counting all the cell that is contain value, whether it's visible or not visible. But after you do a filter, we want another Excel functions to count only the cells that are visible. So how can we find that? How can we find that cell that contains data? So we use the subtotal. The subtotal has the same function as count A. They still count the cell that contains value. It's just that it only counts those cells that are visible in this column. So that's why you get 17, because these are the cells that is visible. That's not high. 17. And that now you know that there are 17 feedback that is related to price. But is that so? No, no, no. If you take a closer look here, the price and the fee, these two is interchangeable. So how do you say that, well, if it's a person their price, but their price fees I also want to filter? Well, you can use, again, go to click on this button, choose text filter, and you choose custom filters. Here choose equals contains. So first of all, you tell Excel that please look for me the feedback that contains the word price. Well, if you cannot find the price and it's okay, check for me also for the same cell, is there a value for fee? Okay, so then I can just put there, if the feedback contains a fee, I want that to be filtered as well. So now let's just click OK. Now you can see that it's not just 27, not just 17, but it's another 10. So that is how you use advanced order filter. You can do the price that contains all the fee. That is what it means. So now you have a better numbers. Now let's come back to the DA category. You see that now you have the numbers. This is time to improve. Then over the time you can do measurements against a quarterly basis or maybe every month. Then you can see how it is reduced. How is the number reduced or how is the number increased? So that require you another set of business data analysis skill, which is called the dashboard. Alright, I hope that this explained to you how to use the sort feature and the tool function, which is the count A and also the subtotal, as well as how to activate the filter by pressing Ctrl Shift L to deactivate. Click on this button, choose. There are many items that you can do with the filter. So I'm just showing you another example on put into the context. It becomes something valuable. This is a very valuable skill a business data analysis should have, okay, to analyze some basic feedback. Thanks for watching. God bless you. God bless Asia. Together we excel before 50.